Hi there. In this video, can your band survive a session in the studio? The short answer is, of course they can. The longer answer is, maybe. Even with the proliferation of home studios, some musicians still opt for someone else's studio, and not everyone has a home studio. The advantages are simple. Often folks that run a studio for a living have more experience and better equipment in spaces that are specifically designed for recording, which can yield a better result. Also, they will often supply an engineer to run all the gear so the musicians purchasing the studio time can concentrate on getting a great take. It can certainly make the experience a better one, but not always. And this is why I've made this video, so you will not only survive, but you will also have a better chance for success. I'm going to assume that you want to record a band, such as a 5-piece rock band. But the information and advice here will be applicable to smaller and larger ensembles. There are all types of pay-to-record studios, from small home studios through mom-and-pop studios to full-blown multi-room complexes. Generally, you get what you pay for, but you should know what questions you need to ask a prospective studio, like, what is the charge per hour? It could be $50, it could be $500, it could be $5,000. What is the minimum block of time I can book? It is most likely 2 or 4 hours in smaller studios and 8 hours in larger studios. The likelihood that it is 1 hour is practically zero, although you may be able to add additional smaller segments of time, such as an hour or two, to larger blocks of time you have already booked. You must ask about additional smaller blocks of time. For example, you initially book 4 hours. You have almost everything laid down, but you need just 30 minutes or an hour to finish up. Will the studio sell you an additional small block of time, or is there a minimum of a larger block? It's a hard pill to swallow when you only need 30 minutes to finish up and you have to purchase 4 more hours. Also, if you're forced to buy a larger block, can you bank the portion that you don't use, or do you have to use it now? Usually you will be able to bank it, but you have to ask. This is where mom and pop studios differ from the larger studios. Often larger studios don't offer small time block flexibility. They're used to dealing with larger corporate clients, and booking you for 5 hours and 37 minutes, it's not in their wheelhouse. The next question to ask is, what's included? This is a very important question to ask. Is it a room only, such as Studio A, or is it a room and an engineer that will run the console for you? Many studios include an engineer in the price. They don't want anyone other than their people touching their expensive equipment. Large corporate studios often allow artists to bring in their own team of engineers and producers. Studios often list all the great gear they own, such as microphones and instruments. You can do some research online. Know that some gear may be included and some may require you to pay an additional fee. Generally, control room gear is included because it's intrinsic to getting the performances recorded. So all the rack gear in the control room may be included, such as preamps, effects processors, and also ancillary items in the main room like direct boxes. It may include microphones and instruments like guitars, keyboards, and drums, or it may not, and usually not. You have to ask and not assume that just because you see a piano in Studio A and you are renting Studio A, that you can use the piano without cost. One maxim of commercial studios is that time is money, gear is money. Don't want to pay $5 to rent a guitar tuner? Don't forget to bring one with you. Websites are great, but if possible, visit each studio you are considering. Spaces can look smaller or larger than they really are. Go breathe their air. Get a feeling for what it is they are offering you. If they don't have samples of their work on their webpage, ask to hear some of their finished projects, especially ones in the same genre of music that you intend to record. Some studios have multiple ISO booths, and it's possible to lay down multiple discrete instrument tracks simultaneously. This can be a time saver. Don't be afraid to tell them you are a studio virgin or that you don't have a lot of experience. Good studios will appreciate your honesty. They won't necessarily assume you know important aspects of the process, and they may be more inclined to help you and not let you flounder. Ask them what the delivery medium will be, and if it has an additional charge. Most likely the studio will be using a computer-based digital audio workstation, a DAW. You need to know how they will get the tracks to you. Large studios may make the tracks available online through a password-protected server like Google Drive. Smaller studios may let you bring in a thumb drive, or they may burn all the necessary files to a DVD or Blu-ray and hand them to you. Once you have a copy, the first thing you should do is ensure the disc is complete and works. The second thing you should do is make backup copies. Some studios will keep copies of your recording sessions indefinitely unless you instruct them not to. Others delete them because they need the space. If you go back to them at a later date, having lost your copy, they may be able to provide you another copy, but there will be a cost. Time is money to a studio. Often the engineer will be happy to make you a rough mix of the tracks during your booked studio time and give it to you in an MP3 or some other format. They may or may not let you use your own thumb drive. There are so many ways that computer systems can be compromised by bad people or innocently that they may make you buy one from them. Many studios offer mixing and mastering services at an additional cost per song or per amount of time. You can have them do it, take it to someone else, or do it yourself. You should certainly make sure that you get a copy of the master tracks so that you can use them in whatever way you want to do so later. So here is my advice on choosing a studio beyond what I have already said. If you have unlimited funds and money is just paper to you, by all means consider a large corporate entity. They will have highly skilled engineers, plenty of space, lots of top quality gear. Generally, they will not guide you in any way. If you need guidance, you should hire a producer. A producer is a person skilled in the process of getting songs recorded in a studio. Producers can be expensive, but they can save you money by keeping you on track. They are often musicians and creative types themselves, and they can add value to your songs and the production of your songs. They will come up with things you never even thought of, and they had better do that because that's part of what you are paying them to do. If you decide to go the producer route, you should follow their advice. There is no point hiring an expert if you're not going to value what they say. It's okay to have creative differences, but you should listen to them. If you are on a budget, a mom and pop / sole proprietor small studio is going to be your best bet. You still need to do your homework and consider the guidance I have already provided. Most often, small studio owners are the engineers, and they are a lot more likely to unofficially take on the producer role, especially if you tell them that you need help. Don't be surprised if the studio asks you to sign a contract or some type of service agreement. You should read the agreement. Know what happens if you cancel. Usually you'll forfeit your deposit, but it may be worse than that. The studio will probably ask for a portion or all of the fees up front. If you book a block of time and then don't show, the studio usually can't find someone on a moment's notice to fill that time. Okay, so at this point you've found a studio you like. You have booked a block of time. Now what? Laying down tracks is a process, and this is the time for you to be productive and not necessarily creative. Million-dollar bands can spend 6 weeks in the studio writing, recording, partying, because they have huge budgets. Most of us have a modest budget, so we should be creative prior to going into the studio. You need to have a plan, and that is the core of this video. Have a plan. Write it down. Preparation is key to a successful studio visit. Don't blow your time preparing at the studio. Lyric sheets, instruments, accessories, backups, snacks. Bring them with you. Put a cooler in your vehicle and fill it with drinks and snacks. Get to the studio early. Almost every band has a member that never shows up on time. Not for practices, not for gigs. Carpool your lazy band members to the studio. Don't trust that they will show up on time or at all. In fact, everyone involved should carpool. Make it a studio convoy. Here are some do's and don'ts. Do make sure all the band members are in agreement with the plan. Do include in the plan the order in which you will record your songs. Do have a plan for the order in which you will record your instrument parts for each song. Create your own track sheets that relate to the parts you intend to record. Mark off the parts after they are successfully recorded and refer to the track sheets to ensure you have all the parts you will need for the final mix. Give a copy to the engineer. This way the engineer can start labeling tracks while you are setting up your gear. Do be creative, but remember you are primarily recording, not composing. Do record now, mix later. An on-the-fly rough mix is fine to help coax the best performance from your band members, but don't get into the weeds on the mix. Engineers will create a rough mix as they go along. Don't listen to too many or repeated playbacks without good reason to do so. You're just burning up time. Once you are sure you have a good take, move on. Don't take spouses, girlfriends, boyfriends, etc. They are distractions. Leave them at home and turn all your cell phones on mute. This is not a social event, it's work. Do bring 1 or 2 gophers to get food. Take pictures, run to the store, run home for something you forgot, but make sure they understand their role so they don't get in your way. Do get a good night's sleep. Do be professional and present. When you're not playing, be supportive, but don't get in the way. Don't doodle on a cell phone video game. Be close and ready to assist immediately if asked. For whatever period of time you're at the studio, be 100% engaged in the recording process. Do your part. Do engage with the engineer professionally, but now is not the time to socialize. Do have fun. Do follow the plan. This is general advice for surviving a trip to the studio. I can't cover everything in one short video, but in the comments, I'm sure there will be additional advice and stories of triumph and failure. I have great studio memories from when I was playing and when I was assisting. And I'm speaking from experience when I tell you that I saw plenty of people piss their time away. Don't do that. In closing, I'll say, have fun, be professional, take lots of pictures. One day you'll be glad you have them. Have a plan so you don't waste your time. Hopefully I haven't wasted your time. Take care, and I'll be back in another episode soon.